Yo, 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 this is Big Time Math here to talk to you about A4B, compare and contrast, association and causation in real world problems. So what is causation? So think of it this way. Changes in one thing directly cause changes in the other. So if this happens, then this happens, all right? So what does that mean? Let's look at an example of causation. As the temperature outside rises, the ice melts faster. Does that make sense to you? So it's getting hotter outside, the temperature's rising, and the ice starts to melt. Does one cause the other to happen? Think of it this way. Ice melts if it gets hotter, so if the temperature outside is going up, the ice melts, one causes the other. So what does that tell me? That is definitely causation. If one thing causes the other to happen, then it's causation. So if the temperature outside rises, the ice melts faster, then it's causation. Let's look at this example. This is not an example of causation. So if I drive super fast, it rains more. Does driving fast cause it to rain more? I really don't think so. If I'm driving super fast, I'm in the Fast and Furious, and it's raining, the clouds don't look at me and say, you know what, you're driving fast, so I'm going to rain more. No, this is an example of not causation. This is definitely not causation. Guys, it doesn't matter how fast you drive. If it's going to rain, it's going to rain. It depends on how much the clouds are full of water and whatnot. So, this is not an example of causation. One does not directly have an effect on the other. Okay, and if it rains more, do you drive faster? Probably not. All right, so this is a good example of not causation. So let's look at some STAR test questions. Remember, changes in one thing directly causes changes in the other. So in 2017, it was question 9 on the STAR test. It said, which situation best represents causation? So here, that's where I'm looking for my smiley face. What causes the other to happen? So let's look at the examples. When the number of bus stops increase, the number of car sales decrease. So if they put a bunch of bus stops on the street, do you think that's going to cause a lot of people to not go buy cars? I think that's an association. It just happens to be a coincidence. So this one, we're going to put a question mark. If there are fewer firefighters to report to a house fire, the damage caused by the fire decreases. So let's say you have a fire and the house is super big and only one firefighter shows up. Does that mean there's going to be less damage? Probably not, because you know what? You need more firefighters to put out a fire. So this is not causation. When ice cream sales increase, the incidence of sunburns increase. That's probably just an association, a coincidence. Because think of it this way. Just because people buy ice cream doesn't mean that they're going to get sunburns, right? So that's a coincidence. And we'll look at this one. If it rains several inches, the water level of the lake increases. The level of the lake increases if it rains several inches. To me, that makes sense. So the more it rains, it's going to cause the water level to go up. Therefore, it directly has a cause. So the answer is D. And if we go back to A, again, this just happens to be a coincidence that if the number of bus stops increases, the sales decrease. Okay, people aren't going to stop buying cars because there's more bus stops. Actually, they might get more mad because the bus is going to stop even more often. So, anyways, the answer is D. What causes the other to happen? If it rains several inches, it has a direct cause on the water level of the lake. Let's look at one more example. This was the question 25 on 2018. Which situation does not cause or show causation? So which one does not show causation? Let's check it out. When the student population at the school increases, so if more students are there, the number of teachers at the school increases. Well, that makes sense, right? Because the more students you have, the more teachers you need, so that is directly causation. But remember, we're looking for the one that says not causation. So when the amount of sugar in a quart of apple juice is reduced, there are fewer calories. Well, if you take out the sugar, you're taking out the calories, so that has a direct cause there. So again, that is good news, but that's not the one we're looking for. When there are workers on a project, more workers on a project, the project is completed in less time. Let's see, so if I have a lot of workers, that means the project's going to be completed in less time, so that has a direct cause. So that's definitely causation, which leads us down to our last answer. When there is more protein in the athlete's diet, the athlete scores more points. Now we could say, well, more protein means more points, but think of it this way. Does the protein directly cause the athlete to score more points? In this case, it does not. It's about the athlete's skill and how good they are in the game. It's not based off the protein in their diet, okay? So, although it does seem like they have an effect, it's just an association, or what we call a coincidence. Therefore, it is not causation. Therefore, my answer is D. So remember, causation is what directly causes the other to have a change. All right? Hope this helped. Peace out.